Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a Art Party Friday layout. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I was kind of excited to get to work. So sorry that this layout is up so late. It has been a super crazy week and I just barely got this layout done this morning. So here you can see that I am painting with some Shimmers spray, and this is Princess, and it is a Shimmers Vibes spray mist. And what I'm doing here is I'm just literally using the Shimmers paint as a watercolor, and then here I'm going to just use it as a spritz. So I am done with that. I am also going to pull out some Shimmers Dazzlers in, let's see, this one's called Foiled Again, and I'm going to use I think it's a Tim Holtz stencil from Michaels. And I have this photo of me and one of my best friends. I don't know if you're like me, but I have like a million best friends. I actually just have two best friends, and they're amazing women, and I love them. And both of them don't live anywhere close to me. So this is one of my best friends, and she lives in Oregon, which is about 12 hours away, I think. Might be more than that. And she comes to visit once a year because her family lives here, and then she also has friends, and I am one of the friends that she likes to visit. So in February, she came to visit and she stayed for 5 days. And I was super excited she stayed for so long because normally she only stays for a couple days and I don't get to see her for very long. But since she was going to be here for 5 days, she was able to schedule 2 or 3 days to spend with me. So this was the last day she came to visit, and I said, Mark, take a picture of her with me, or take a picture of us, and so we did. It's not the best photo at all, because it was nighttime, and it was in my house, and it was super bad lighting, but I'm glad that my husband took a photo of us together, because we didn't take any other photos. Isn't that how it always works? You're just having so much fun that you forget to take photos. So you can also see that I have two little 2x2 squares, and those were two of the places that we went to lunch together during the week. I was thinking maybe I would include those, but I'm going to decide not to. So here now what I'm doing is I'm using some of the Shimmers Paints Snowstorm. It doesn't actually show up because it's so transparent. Is that the right word? So I'm going to decide to pull out one of the new pasties products from Shimmers Paints and just kind of paint it on the background. I was very much inspired by Mari Clark. I will try to remember to put an image of the layout I was inspired by at the end. And this layout is actually going to completely change. I am going to scrap this background here in a few minutes because I just hate it. I don't like it. I should have not added the pasties, but I really wanted to add some more texture in a different color other than the silver. But the pasties was just the wrong color, and I totally hate this background now. So I'm still thinking, okay, I'm okay with it. I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to start working on layering behind the photo. And that's when I decide I really don't like the background that I already created. So here I already had a scrap piece of paper that I had ripped apart. And I'm just going to cut it up to kind of give it a little bit of an extra edge, but I ripped too much off of it and I hated it. So I'm going to switch it around, and then I'm going to add this part that I had cut off originally so that the ripped edge looks a little bit more ripped, and I like that better. And then here I'm going to cut it up off of that 12x12 sheet, and I'm going to end up cutting more off because I just don't like how much is on the bottom. And then I'm going to cut a little bit off on the side, and that is going to be the end of that mat. I think I'm off looking for more papers to put behind the photo. I really wanted to add more more mats behind the photo. So that's what I'm doing here. And these papers that I'm using are from Fancy Pants Golden. It's Golden Days. Fancy Pants Golden Days. I don't remember when this one came out. If this one came out at the beginning of this year or if it came out towards the end of last year. But I'm thinking it came out in January. But it's a really, really nice collection. I really like it. It is more of a off-white base though. So the fact that my first paper was on a white background also kind of made me feel like it didn't go with the photo mats that I was putting on it. So here you can see I'm just kind of layering up a few different pattern papers. I wanted to add a floral behind the photos as well, but I decided in the end I don't really like that. So here I set it down and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to really have misgivings and not like this background at all. So I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, I think I ran off to go clean off my brushes and everything. And now here I'm back and I just keep putting it on there and I'm like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. And you can see I'm just fussing because I'm just not happy with it at all. But that's kind of what mixed media is. You just kind of play around and you just figure out what looks good to your eye. So now I'm going to go off, I'm going to put that aside, and I bring in this all gray paper from the Golden Days collection. And I'm just going to stick my brush right in there, and I'm going to do the same thing on my background. I'm going to do the purple strokes on the background, and this time I decided to kind of back off a little bit, not make it so concentrated, I guess. And I guess having the gray background makes it not so much of a bright purple as well. My pants were purple and my friend's shirt was a little purple. It was more burgundy than purple. But I really wanted to use purple on this layout. So here you can see I'm going through all of my stencils. I really don't have that many stencils. I love mixed media, but I'm just not very good at it. I feel like I'm not good at it, so I don't do it a whole lot. I wish I was more confident, and really, I just need to play with it, is what it is. I just need to play around more, practice more, and I will become better at it. But I do love how this layout turns out. So this is a, oh goodness, it's a, the Crafter's Workshop stencil. I don't know if I have the paper or the package still. I just opened it, but I can't see the package. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, sorry. This one is by Rebecca's Remnants, and it is called Radar Remnant. So if you want to get this one's really pretty, and I really like how the stencil turned out. So I did end up using the Dazzlers foiled again as well on this background. I also pulled out my Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Tinsel, and I did some little splatters, but then I was trying to use it as a mist, as a spray, and my nozzle is totally clogged and it won't work. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I might need to go soak it or something in water because it just would not spray at all. So here I pulled out a glassine bag. I think that one I got in a kit, but usually I buy my glassine bags from Speakle Mom Scraps. They're super cheap from her, and you can get a bunch of them for really a good price. So now I'm pulling out my heat gun, and I'm going to spend some time going over this. Okay, now I am going to start doing my embellishing. And I had this pre-made embellishment that I made a long time ago, and I just haven't used it, but I really didn't like the way I had set it up. It just feels awkward, so I think I might take that one apart. But I did find this cute little wood veneer tag, and I am going to put it up there in the right hand corner along with this cute flare badge, and that is from KJ Kareen's Etsy shop. I love her flare. She is awesome. I keep testing out the Dazzler paint on here, but it does not want to dry. That's the only downside to using Dazzlers, is they don't like to dry pretty fast. So I'm gonna keep blasting it with heat and letting it air out. So now here I am going to start working on the journaling card that I'm going to put in the glassine bag. I had this cute little striped green paper that kind of matched the green on the triangle paper that I have behind the photo. And I'm thinking at first I was thinking I wanted to use that sunshine or that happiness as the little pull tab for the top of the journaling card, but it just was too big. I didn't really like it. So I'm going to pull out this old, let's see, it's a tag from the memorandum collection by Pink Paisley, and it was a full 12 by 12 piece of paper of tags, and all I did was just cut them all out, and now I just have a bunch of them ready to use in my stash. So I think this is almost dry. I'm going to set it aside again, and I'm going to fuss around with this little tab for a minute, and then I'm going to do my journaling. And my journaling is pretty simple. It just talks about my friend coming to visit, and she does have family in time, so I have to share, quote unquote, share her with her family. And her family always throws a fit about it. Always. Like, she stays with her family, and she spends most of her day with her family, and then she spends 2 or 3 hours with me when she comes. This time, since she was here for so long, she got to spend a few days with me for 2 or 3 hours, and her family threw fits. They get to see her 12 hours for 5 days, and they throw a fit for her visiting with me, you know, for maybe 5 to 6 hours during a whole trip. Like, it made me so mad. But this year, because normally she only gets to see me for 1 day, this year she stood up to her family and was like, no, I'm going to spend time with Megs because she's my best friend and we want to actually spend time with each other. So I was super excited. We got to spend so much time together. This was the last day that we were able to spend time together, and it was just so fun being able to hang out with her and everything. So now I'm just going to start gluing everything down onto the layout because the Shimmers paints are pretty much dry. And so I'm going to glue down all of these pieces and embellishments. I'm going to pull out some Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins as well. And the mix that I use, let me see, let me grab it really quick. It is called, let's see if I can grab the right one. Sweet Pea is the one that I grabbed. So I did write Besties Forever on that tag, and then I was like, oh, that looks awful. It looks so stupid. So I pull out this Maggie Holmes paper, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna cut this, and that is gonna go over top of it, and it turned out that it worked. And I like that so much better than my writing. Okay, so now I'm going to put down the sequins, and like I said, I used Sweet Pea from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I have so many different sets of sequins, and I love Spiegel Mom Scraps. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue those down, and these ones are super cute. They're like really cute purple flowers. And the only thing that I use to keep my sequins on are these amazing dots, glue dots. So that is that. That is the end of my layout. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again next month. Have a great day. Bye.